So what I want you to know if you have celiac disease is that you are obviously way more than your celiac disease. You have hobbies, you have interests, you have a job, you are likely some kind of family member to someone, either a daughter, a sister, a cousin, an aunt, a brother, an uncle, a they, them. You have skills, you have friends, you have dreams. Like, you are way more than celiac disease. And I know that. I know you know that. And I'm saying this because oftentimes I get pushback when I refer to celiacs as celiacs, when I use identity first language or disease first language as opposed to person first language. And I want to talk about why I do that, because this is something that I learned when I was diagnosed with ADHD way back in the day, not way back in the day, a couple years ago. And someone was talking about not using person first language, but using disease first language or identity first language, because with ADHD shows up everywhere. And I got to thinking, I'm like, holy crap, with celiac disease in a gluten-centered global food system, in a gluten-centered culture, I'm hard-pressed. It happens, but I'm hard-pressed to find situations where it doesn't come up or I'm not paying attention to something celiac related. It is a part of how I interact with everyday life. It is a part of how I interact with the world on a daily basis, sometimes on an hourly or minute-by-minute basis. It depends on the situation I'm in. It is, though, obvious and in my face. I have to eat multiple times a day, every day to stay alive. I'm not getting away from it. I'm not escaping it. It is very rare to find myself personally in a situation where it's not coming up. Because of that, I do use identity first language. I don't use person first language, but I want to really clarify that this is my choice as a person with celiac disease, as a celiac, as someone who's been living with celiac for 10 plus years. Based on my lived experience, I will generally use identity first language instead of person first language. I do go back and forth, but it is what has naturally become a part of my language as a fellow celiac and a celiac specialized dietitian to say celiac and refer to people with celiac as celiacs. It's also really helpful brevity wise. Like, there's not a lot of space you don't have a lot of space on social media to spell it out a lot of the times, but this is why personally I use that language, and I thought I would discuss it because I always usually get a fellow celiac who's pushing back, and I understand what the mental health community was trying to do when they put this like person first mentality into the conversation, and I think it's helpful to decide for yourself what you need. And I respect everyone's choice. I respect if you prefer to use person first language rather than identity first language. And I understand like the different sides of the argument. I understand why someone might prefer that. And my preference and my choice is identity first. So that is what you're going to primarily see. And I understand if you might want to see differently, but also please don't ask me to change my experience and how I'm interpreting it for the sake of you. And if that means you need to go seek another creator or another provider, I completely understand, but this is my own choice. And I don't want that experience, or I don't want the way that I'm interpreting it and experiencing it as a celiac to be silenced. And that's something I'm always really struggling and carefully balancing. As both a specialized dietitian in celiac disease and also a celiac, I'm always balancing the two parts of me. But that is, I just thought I would explain. So I would love to hear below what your reasoning is and what you prefer. And please, all I ask is that you have this conversation with respect and understanding that, everyone has their own choice and their right to make their own choice and to respect everyone else's choice. Please don't try to convince anyone to do otherwise. But I would love to hear what you think, why you choose what you choose. If you feel like sometimes you want it to be person first, sometimes you don't. I would love to hear your thoughts, because I think we want it to be a black and white conversation, but I think it's a very gray, nuanced conversation. So I thought I would start it. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you need help with managing celiac disease, if you need someone to explain to you how to avoid gluten in beauty products when necessary, food labels, alcohol, supplements, medications, what have you in the United States. If you need someone to explain to you step by step how to avoid cross contact in your home, a friend's home, an Airbnb, at restaurants, what have you. If you've not met with a celiac specialized registered dietitian in the past 3 to 5 years who was able to sit you down and help you build a strong foundation in celiac safety when it comes to making sure everything you put in your body in the United States is free from gluten and also free from cross contact based on how it interacts with your home or whatever setting you find yourself in. If you need that help, I've got my celiac safety course. It's a self-paced dietitian-led course. It's linked down below in the description box. It's available to you. I've also got a free label reading class to help you identify gluten in food. It doesn't cover alcohol, medication, supplements, what have you, but it does cover food, so you can make sure the food you're buying is gluten-free if you need that. It's also linked in the description box. If you want more help from a fellow celiac and celiac specialized dietitian, you want more videos from me, hit that subscribe button. If you found this video interesting, please give it a big thumbs up. And all of that said, my name is Taylor, and I will see you when I see you.